Hi, listeners. Welcome to Page to Picture. I am your host, Kim.
And I am your host, Tiff. And earlier this week, during our 5 Feet Apart episode, we featured our ARC Corner author.
Her obsession with supernatural creatures, spooky stories, witchcraft, and fae resulted in Jade's debut novel, Annie Dean, Order and Blood.
Yes, she writes for her day job, but her dream is to work as a full-time author, weaving stories for others to enjoy. Please join us in welcoming Jade Lamb. Hi.
Hi,
guys. I think Tiff 100% agrees that she would like her work to be a full-time author as well.
Yes, 100%.
That is the dream. Yeah. Exactly. Anyone who writes says the same thing.
Yes.
Write books, do little meet and greets, and that's all.
And that's
just enjoy
it.
life.
Just working for yourself as well, I think is that, just flexibility with a routine and getting to write what you want.
Yeah, and just doing something you love is that's like the best.
Yeah, seriously. I know my job doesn't listen to this podcast, but my 9 to 5, please, I can't. I'd rather do this podcast full time. But we're adults, we've got bills to pay. So here we are.
There it is.
Okay, so before we dive into your book, we want to rewind a bit and learn more about you. So we believe that every author has an origin story, and we want to know what your origin story is.
Yeah, so we want to know what first inspired you to start writing fantasy, because you've been creating worlds at a young age. Is that correct?
Yeah. So my grandma, she was also a writer. She never got published because that was way back in the day when self-publishing wasn't an option, unless you were very rich. Yeah, I think people did it, but you had to sort of fund everything yourself, didn't you? And she used to type away because we used to live with her. We all lived together as a family and used to hear her typing away in her bedroom like for hours on end as she was writing her stories. And she was always why I wanted to get into, sort of writing. And I obviously love like English literature and reading from a really young age as well. She's sort of the origin story. She's the reason why.
Oh, I love that.
That is so cute. I love that so much.
Me too. Okay, so how do you organize your ideas when building a complex story that blends horror, fantasy, and myth? Like your book is like, it's a whole nother realm, right?
Yeah.
Do you like outline, or are you someone who like just discovers as you write? And if that is the way you write, like hats off, because your world building and your outline is crazy.
Yeah, I will say I've learned from this that I can't do that. So I started writing the book in 2019, so quite a while ago now. And then obviously pandemic hit, we won't talk about that. And that's when I did most of the first draft. And the story was very, very different. It was very much just a horror. And then like everybody else, it feels, sort of the ACOTAR hype and, all of the fun romantasy came out. And I'd never really read romance. And then I was like, actually, I kind of love this. And I just wanted to create a world that sort of mashed my love of like horror and fantasy and a little bit of romance in there as well. So it's taken like 5-6 years to get to this point. With lots of redrafts, and I had my twin boys in that time as well. So I sort of had 2 years off writing.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of the creation, it very much just winged it.
Oh my gosh.
And now I'm writing book 2. I've actually got a plot outline properly.
You're like, I've kind of learned my lesson.
That's not how you write a book. You need to have an outline. It was just doing whatever it wanted. And then I'd have, like, when my editor came along, she was like, this timeline is just all over the place, mate. Like, you really sort this out. She had a spreadsheet and tables and everything. And I was like, I've learnt my lesson.
You're like, oh, okay, this is everything I want. I just have to lay it back, lay it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because the fantasy world fantasy authors always like intrigue me, because you guys have a creativity that I just can't even fathom. So hats off to you. I know this is your debut novel. It's very, very good. I love the blend of horror, fantasy, myth. Like what the first chapter, it's like, oh crap, it's like exorcism. Let's do that. Like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I have not read I have not read a book like this. I was like, I've not
yeah,
read a book like this. The movies terrify the crap out of me. I cannot watch them,
yeah.
but I will gladly sit here and read this book because that's a whole different level. That's fine. I will read it. I can't watch it, but I will read it.
The first half is definitely like the horror half, and the second it leans more into fantasy.
Yeah.
Probably could have been split into two books because it is a bit of a
No, I
chunky
love it.
one.
I think it was a great your transition. I thought it was really great because
It's a really
the
good blend.
the first half like really like pulls you in because like I said, I've never read like a book like that, so it really like pulls you in and you're kind of like intrigued and you're just trying to figure it out, right? Like where is this
Yeah.
gonna go? And then the fantasy aspect, it's just almost like a cherry on top. You're like, yes, this is amazing. Like, of course, please bring it, give me all of it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always sorry, you have to excuse me. I've got like a cold, and
Oh,
now that
no,
I'm
you're
talking, my cough
okay.
is like I'm trying not to cough on the mic.
That's
'cause
okay.
you have to cut
We've
it
got
out.
plenty of episodes where both Tiff and I are very
We're
sick.
literally coughing and dying, and she's like, and when we edit, we're like, we're just gonna keep it. Like, okay,
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's raw. It's real.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps telling me
Everybody
it's a
gets
new
sick.
strain of COVID, and I'm like, please, no, thank you.
You're like,
Yeah,
stop talking
you're
to
like,
me.
no, it's my allergies. Just leave
Just
it
a
alone.
cold. It's fine.
You're like, don't say that.
We don't need that again, do we?
No.
But no, like I've always been interested in like the fae and like you say myths and stuff like that as well. And yeah, just getting back into like reading and fantasy and romance, just being able to just get it all in one book. That's what I wanted, big mashup. So yeah.
Yeah.
And you did it, girl, because
You did it
is.
well. It
You
flows.
did
Thank you.
it. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Love it.
Thank you.
What's your go-to creative ritual? Like, is there any specific music that you listen to, or like, do you have like a special drink, or like sometimes when I write, I get a cup of coffee and then I start playing like Hosier, and then I'm like in the zone. I sit in front of my computer. I love him with everything, and I could write any type of story with him playing in the background. That's like my creative ritual. What do you have? What do you do?
I actually have to have silence when I'm writing. I can't have music on, and but I usually am like a couch gremlin on my sofa. Like, yeah, I don't sit at a desk. I literally just laptop on my knees writing with
She's
the
like,
recliner
I'm just
Yeah.
typing away.
Yeah,
going
very
crazy.
casual. No, there's no particular ritual. So I write sort of on an online document. So sometimes when I struggle with like creativity and sort of writer's block, I'll write on my phone, and for some reason I find that helps, just having a different sort of platform to write on. Yeah, sometimes I write better on my phone than on my laptop. I don't know why. But then I also end up
That's
writing like,
interesting.
everywhere. I'll like be sat on the sofa writing, or I'll be in bed writing, and not having like a big laptop. I don't know, for some reason it helps. Gets the words down.
That's interesting. I would think like I'm not a writer. I don't even try to pretend to be a writer. But maybe it's like and I don't know, maybe Tiff, you feel this way because you do write, Tiff, but maybe it's like laptop, it feels like very like school oriented or work oriented, and then on your phone you're just kind of like it's more comfortable, like, oh, I could just type this all this out on my phone. I don't know. That's what I would think. If I had to sit in front of my computer and try to write, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I write on my desk, and then sometimes I'll write on my iPad, but I never thought to write on my phone. Now I'm kind of intrigued, and I might try that.
Yeah, see, I use like Google Docs because my husband will usually come in quite early into a draft and like read it as I'm writing and sort of offer like guidance or advice, that sort of thing. He's basically my beta reader.
I love it.
He read like every single version of the book. I think he was like as sick to death of it as me by the time I was publishing it, because I was sick to
She's
death
like,
of it.
this is the end. It's finally done. I swear, I promise.
Yeah, I was still changing the ending like while I was sorting like my KDP out, like the Kindle Direct stuff, and he was like, "You need to stop now. Like it needs to just go. Please let it go."
You're like,
yeah,
all right.
can't stop
She's
playing
like, on
around
to book
with
2.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so the book weaves in tarot symbolism chapter by chapter, which I love. That I've never read a book like that, and I actually really liked it. Can you tell us how that idea came about and how it influenced the story?
I mean, I pull my cards anyway, so they sort of narrate like my day to day. So I usually do like a card pull at the start of the year, I probably don't do it as often as I used to, but like I try, sort of a few times a month just to pull the cards and see what's sort of lined up. But yeah, I thought I just sort of the symbolism behind the tarot. Each one has sort of a meaning for what's going to happen in the chapter. It's like sort of a foreshadowing, I guess. So yeah, so I've got a book that I reference when I'm doing my cards, and I use that as sort of a just to check like the meaning behind things. And obviously you can interpret tarot, any which way you want really. But so I basically did it that way and just thought it would be nice to have like some sort of foreshadowing before each chapter.
No, I love that because it kind of prepares you
yeah.
for what you're about to read.
Yeah, I mean, if you see like the tower card, you're like, oh shit, like
you're like, oh, this is gonna be that. Yeah,
death. Oh dear,
it's exactly.
You're like, well, here we go.
You're just like, I'm ready.
I'm gonna have a nice time,
You're like, I'm ready. I'm ready to read this chapter.
Yeah. So no, I think that was why
so
it was just
much.
just wanted something a little bit different than just standard like a number really.
Yeah, it's almost like when some authors do when they have a playlist and each chapter is like a playlist,
yeah, that's
a
cute.
song.
Yeah, I like
but
that.
I like yours.
Yeah, so do
I like yours. I like
it's
the way
so
you
different, and it's like a breath of fresh air in a sense, and
that's really nice
makes
to
it
hear.
so interesting. I love it. So let's talk about your book now.
Yes.
So for those who haven't picked up Annie Dean, Order and Blood yet, how would you summarize it to our listeners?
It's funny because when I was initially pitching it, I was pitching it as like a horror fantasy, but a lot of the feedback that I've had, it is purely like a low fantasy, urban fantasy. So I pitch it as that sort of genre now with like horror elements. So because I know that not everyone likes horror, let's be honest, but yeah, it's a little bit graphic in places. So that's why I was pitching it that way, because I guess it was based on like shows like Supernatural and Buffy, which I guess are the tamer side of horror, aren't they? But yeah, it's essentially about a witch, and witches are exorcists in this world, and they work for a big organization called the Order, which isn't the most original name I've realized when I've been like, like looking
you know
at
what,
like...
and that is so fine with me, because
really
sometimes I struggle with names, and I was like, the Order, it's perfect. It's fine with me.
It does what it needs to, doesn't it? You get the picture.
You know who they are. That's what it is.
Yeah, but it opens with her basically going out on an assignment. She's pretty crap at what she does. She hasn't passed like her exams and her tests to get her license to be an exorcist. Something goes wrong on the job, so she finds her client,
my gosh,
unalived, as they say, and then realizes that something else is going on, because these two men turn up and they say that something's siphoning magic and creatures are being controlled, and she gets wrapped up in this whole other plot, that's going on the side, which kind of pushes her outside of her comfort zone. And also makes her realize that she doesn't actually need to pass all these exams and stuff to be, I mean, she's not like your typical hero. Like, she's not all special and all knowing. She's pretty normal, in all honesty. That does kind of change in book 2. She does find like her power in that one. But in book 1, she's definitely, she reacts to things how I think a normal person would, even though she's been exposed to...
I love it. It's like relatable.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like... that I'm like sitting here doing exorcisms and like dealing with that stuff on a day-to-day, but she's like relatable as a character.
Yeah,
she's not
she's an
like
anxious girly,
Yeah.
She's
I know
dealing
those
with
first
like
those first couple of chapters where she's like telling like what happened. I was like, girl, you left her, okay?
Yeah, you left her, and she's
and look what happened. What happened.
Not a good time. She kind of holds that guilt all throughout the book, because she kind of alludes back to it through every single case that she does afterwards. And I think that's a normal thing. So I didn't want her to just be like, oh well, that happened and now I'm here. Like, that's something that would haunt you forever. So she's meant to be relatable and normal, but also a witch, which is kind of cool.
I love that.
So the book is set in a modern day London, right? But it feels incredibly mystical. So how do you balance real world grounding with supernatural?
I always like the idea that the supernatural and sort of witchcraft and stuff exists alongside our world anyway. Like, I always like this idea that it is all
100%.
It's all
There's
there.
something
You just haven't been exposed to it.
I literally have not received my Hogwarts letter. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's just not my time yet. I just haven't received it. That's all I have to say.
Just a few years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of like that idea that, and I feel like London, I love London. Like I go to London a lot for work, and I have friends that live there, and I visited, like, I'm only like an hour away on the
That
train,
is like
so
my go-to.
It's
Like,
like a dream.
dream. Oh my god, it's amazing.
yeah, although it's one of those places where the more you go, the more you're exposed to kind of not the seedy side, but probably like you see like the negative sides a little bit more,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
more you're there and stuff. And I think London
Mhm.
does have this kind of, well, I think in films and stuff it's depicted that way as well, isn't it? Kind of like a grimy
Yes.
underbelly. And for me, I see it as like, it's like vampires and
You're
things
like, there's
in the
more
dark and the
happening here.
shadows.
There's
Yeah.
way more happening
Yeah.
here than what you guys actually know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's why I just like the idea of it being also relatable in terms of a place, because
Mhm.
sort of creating I mean, I have sort of created another world, but it's you sort of had a tangible location to start with that people can
Yeah.
sort of understand and see themselves in as well, which I think was quite nice.
Yes. She's like, I want to write a book where people, when they go to London, they're going to question everything. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're gonna
Are y'all-
exactly.
question what's going on.
yeah, is there vampires? What's happening right now?
I know there's a
Exorcism?
vampire around.
Hi.
Probably,
All that good stuff.
probably. I'm sure if you go, some areas in London, you'd see people that you would probably think,
Yeah, you're
probably
like,
a
that's
vampire.
sketchy.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So what was the most fun scene for you to write in this book?
My favorite scene, I've got two. So the seance scene is one of my favorites, just because
Yes.
I like to envision all of these weird creatures and Annie sat around a little spirit board in her tiny little flat, like talking to
Yeah.
spirits. Just sort of quite a funny image to me. But also the Kelpie scene where she rides the Kelpies through London, getting away.
Yes.
Yeah. That's probably one of my favorite scenes. Like in my head, it looks really cool, and yeah, just that's one I got really
Oh, I
excited
love
to write.
that. Were there any hard scenes for you to write?
Like the ending was quite tough because it's sort of just how to end it. I found that really hard, and where to end
Mhm.
it, because
You're like, I want to keep going, actually.
yeah, it felt like it could have kept going, and yeah, I was just really struggling with like where, because I knew it was always going to end on sort of a cliffhanger. I didn't know where the
Yes.
cliffhanger should be.
Oh
Like,
my god.
yeah, there was a few options, and I probably rewrote. I mean, the last chapter was added after it had gone to ARC readers based on sort of feedback from them, because they were
Okay.
some people were kind of like, I've got questions. I don't, like it sort of felt more like a plot hole than a cliffhanger. So I added in the last chapter to kind of wrap things up a little bit.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So yeah, so people had something, like, I guess, to, I don't know, it just felt like it ended it a little bit better than perhaps what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Oh my
ending was definitely
god.
the hardest bit to write.
That's so interesting. And your book is a hefty book. I mean,
Yes, yeah, it is.
I don't hate it. I love a good hefty book.
I also love a good hefty book.
Especially if it can keep me like focused and dedicated. Like sometimes I see a book and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna read this. But reading your story, like you forget. You're just like going and you're going and going. And then you get to the end and you're like, what the fuck? And you're just like, I need another book.
You're like, I need more.
I need more. And
Yeah.
that's like what I love. I'm like, give me more. Give me another like 600 pages. I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me the most, please. Give me more worlds.
Yeah, how long the second
Literally.
one's gonna be, because yeah, I'm not sure at the minute. But yeah, my friend put it in the freezer. She was so mad at me.
I
at the end
saw
of it.
that. I was laughing so hard. I was like, I get you, girl. I totally get it. I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, like every author has like a graveyard document where they've cut, everything out of the
Yeah.
books that
Yeah.
isn't needed, and I think that's probably like 100,000 words in itself. Like, because there's
Wow.
so many variations of the story. But I've managed to still like sort of pull things, and like just like
Mhm.
background, like there was whole chapters about her grandmother, and like her sort of some of her cases, and whole chapters of her mum's backstory. And yeah, I felt like it was just getting it just pulled you away too much from sort of the
Yeah.
plot, so I pulled them. But yeah, there's just whole like extra stories that
You're
are,
like,
yeah,
to be
just
honest, this entire book and all my backup information would be a great TV series. So if
wow,
anyone's
that'd be
listening,
nice, wouldn't it? That's a dream.
So-
she's like, I've got seasons for seasons and seasons. Like,
Yeah.
we can keep
Literally.
going.
Could be like a Supernatural, a different case per episode. And there's always that underlying
Yeah,
plot.
but then it all
So,
like flows together at the end. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We'll tag the people.
Yeah,
Netflix wants to hit
we
me
got you.
up, you know.
We'll tag. We will
Let me
tag
know.
people.
Yeah.
Okay, so which characters surprised you the most as you were writing? Either because of like how they developed or how the readers responded to them or just in general.
I think Kayla, in all honesty, she seems to
Mm-hmm.
be sort of everyone's favorite. She was actually
Yes.
a love interest for Annie originally.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of shift from her to just being sort of a platonic, but best friend, sort of
Yes.
Yeah.
a surprise when I wrote like the next variation and introduced Erin to it. Um, yeah, I think she was she also just some of the stuff she comes out with, yeah, just sort of made me laugh as I was writing her because she's just a little bit bizarre at times, and I sort of worried that people wouldn't click with her, but yeah, it seems to have gone the other way. She's
I
the
love it.
surprising one.
I love a
Yeah,
good
everyone
side
loves her.
character, like a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time.
Kim really does love a good side character. Like we'll be reading something and she's like, "Oh my god, I really love this person." And I'm like, "They had like 4 pages worth of them. What are you talking about?" She's like, "I just want more."
No,
Her
even if
and
it's
Rune are
like,
like, oh, sorry, go on.
yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say her and Rune have come out as like the favorites, and yeah, they're not
Yeah.
sort of key to everything, which yeah is quite funny, isn't it? But they
Yes.
are side
Like we
characters.
love our main characters. Do not get us wrong. The main characters are the ones that, that's who your stories are about. But like, I love either like the best friends, a second character, a side character. Like, I always somehow love them even more. And I'm always like, I want more of them. Like, what is their stories? Give me novellas. Give me side stories. Give me
I'd love to
something.
do
Like,
a Kayla novella. That'd be hilarious.
oh my God, I would read it, please.
She said I would read it in a heartbeat.
Oh my God. I love that.
I think the side characters, the reason why Kim loves them so much is because like when you
I'm a
could
side
like they
character.
could
No.
be no.
So am
But
I.
it's because
So am
like
I.
okay, I don't know about you, but for me, when I write side characters, I'm literally just like, whatever, fuck it. I'm gonna make them however I want to make them. And if they're just gonna be in the dynamic and that you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think Kim just loves that like fuck it mentality
Yeah.
with these side
Yeah.
characters. Because I noticed the characters that she loves are the ones that are like not like they're not like they have the best banter or like they say like the
Yeah.
craziest stuff
Just
and she's just
chaotic.
like
I
I
love that.
love them.
Usually
They
like the
help
comedic
balance
relief,
out.
aren't they? Yeah.
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 They
That's what you
help
need, don't
balance
you? You need
out.
you need a balance.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree.
Yes, I love them. I love it. I would totally read a novella. I will read it, write it. I will read it. Without spoiling anything, what can readers expect from Annie's journey next? I know you've mentioned that you have book 2 in the works. So what can you like spill with us? Because I know at the end of your book, you gave us like a little bonus,
Mm.
which I love a little bonus. I love a little tease.
I think book 2, you're going to see Annie. She's very different. Obviously, she's very changed by what happened at the end of book 1. It's, sort of obviously trauma and drama. So yeah, book 2 is going to see her probably being a little bit unhinged at times. I'm not going to lie, but I've really enjoyed writing that because I feel like she deserves it. She was sort of
Yeah.
a bit downtrodden before all of this kicked off. So yeah, I think book 2 you're going to see a different side to Annie, but hopefully sort of hold on to her original character a little bit because I think that's important. We don't want her to change completely. But yeah, there's going to be more monsters, more magic, more fighting, and it's probably on a grander scale this time. So yeah, I'm quite excited to. It's back in modern London as well, most of it. So, yeah, because I know the ending at the last one, sort of 2/3 of the way through modern London's. The first half is
Yes.
definitely going to be back, in the capital, which is quite exciting.
I love that. Are you planning on making this just like 2 books? Are you planning on going more series? Like, do you even have an idea or you're just going to let it flow with how you write? Like,
I think it's going to be a three part. So
okay,
yeah,
great.
the way it's going at the minute, sort of the grand finale, definitely we're not getting anywhere close. Sort of in terms of how far we are, in the book. So yeah, I think it'll be a 3-part book.
I love
I
that.
love it.
I love a
Keep
good
it coming.
Yeah, I love a good 3-part series. I really do.
Love a good series in general. Just
Me
I don't care how
too.
long the Like,
Yeah,
just
I'm
keep me in
reading
that world and I'm happy.
yeah,
Yes.
like Amber V. Nicole's, sort of the Book of Asriel series, gonna be like an 8-part like book series, which is just insane. Like
Oh my
just to have a
gosh.
world that huge is just so impressive.
Yeah, it
No.
really
Yeah, I
is.
don't know if you've read those books, but they're so good, really good.
I have not. Tiff, have you?
What is, I've heard of it. You said the book of,
Book of Asriel.
I have been recommended that book
That seems like one Tiff would
so many
definitely like.
times, and
Very
I
good.
am not against reading it. I just never, my TBR is way too long. That's supposed to be on this year.
Oh, same.
Right now, I'm like consumed by like, I'm gonna out myself. I'm consumed by fan fiction right now, so I can't even think about picking up an actual book. But it is on my mental, like I have a list on my phone of books that I don't have yet that I want to read, and I'm pretty positive that's on there.
Yeah, there's only
Now I'm
3
gonna have
out
to
at the
read it.
moment, but yeah, the 4th one comes out this year, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, it's going to be an 8-book series, which is
Oh
just
my
Oh my
wild.
god. So Tiff, we have enough
Massive.
time to catch up.
We do.
Yeah,
We really
we
do.
do.
I could catch up.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
I think it's
ready.
probably a book a year maybe that she's working on. So
Yeah.
you got a while to catch up. They're quite
Oh my
chunky though as
god.
well.
An 8-book series. Holy moly.
I'm excited. Kim, if we can read Harry Potter, I'm sure we can.
I know. I don't know what
Well,
I'm talking
yeah,
about.
that's true.
I'm like,
That's
oh,
true.
8-book
Yeah.
series. I love Harry Potter.
I know.
I don't know what I'm talking like, what am I talking about?
Yeah,
That's
they're
so
very
funny.
good, though.
Yes, I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and get it now. It's
She's
been on
like,
my list, and now I'm like, well, this is the point.
this is
the
the
pushing
confirmation
point.
I needed.
Yeah.
If you've got
All right,
Kindle
so
Unlimited,
getting.
then it's on there.
Yeah. Listen.
Okay, wait. Where's my phone?
She said, wait a minute.
Because when you're on Kindle Unlimited and then when you're done reading a book, it's always like, we recommend these books for you.
Yeah.
I feel like I always see it and I just like scroll by it. I'm like, okay, I can't. Like, hold on. I'm gonna look real quick.
Honestly, it's so good. So good. It's worth a read.
Yes. This is already on my
It's like,
TV.
yes. I know exactly what this is.
Yes. When I look at the cover, I'm like, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have seen it. It's
Yeah,
sort
I
of
hear.
blowing up, sort of on, book talk and all that. So, yeah, it's very good.
Book 1. Okay, wait. Book 2. Oh, adding it.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways.
Every time we do these, we always add like at least 5 books on our TBR.
Yeah.
Like we
can't.
just
I can
keep
believe
adding.
it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I,
Okay, so getting into
sorry,
some.
go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, since I joined Threads, I've found so many books. It's ridiculous. Like,
Oh my
I
god, yes,
know.
Threads is
a great
crazy.
place to
I just
find
have a
books.
list. Yeah, just a
Threads is
list
like
of stuff.
low key. Like people need to really go back, like go
Yeah.
on there, give it a chance, and just you will like deep
love
dive into
Threads.
this. Like,
Exactly. Sometimes I just
Right.
doom scroll on there and I'm like, this is,
Yeah.
I get all this information, all these book recs, all these reviews.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
no, we're literally on like day 17 of tagging Lionsgate and Hunger Games because we want to go to the premiere of Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yeah.
Heavily obsessed with
Started
Hunger
early, though,
Games.
because they're only just announcing casting. That's impressive.
I
That's
know. I'm like, I
dedication.
will tag every day.
They just need to know,
Every
okay?
day.
So that way when they start actually getting the list going, they're like, you guys remember those people?
Yeah.
Every day I
tagging
tag.
us? Yeah.
Every day I tag, and when they announce a casting, I'll do like, P.S. I love this cast. P.S.
Yeah.
I love your casting for so and so. P.S.
Yeah.
You
Hype
will
them
know
up
who
as
we
a-
are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, fingers
All
crossed.
right. So getting into some personal reflection here, what's one lesson you learned during the writing or publishing process that you'll take with you going forward when you're writing and publishing your other books?
I think we've already touched upon it. Plan it. Outline
Yeah.
it. Don't
Do
just
the
wing
steps.
it. Yeah.
Get the timeline going.
Listen to people's advice who've published books and written books. Don't think you can just do it how you want. Yeah. And I think also since doing this, I've met like so many amazing people just through, sort of like social media. I've never really been that sort of person that talks to strangers on social media. I've been very much
Yeah.
like just in my sort of, personal Instagram. And yeah, I've met some like really amazing people who, from all different like backgrounds and walks of life. And yeah, just sort of listening to them and their advice and yeah, just sort of diversifying, who I speak to. And learning from people that have done it before me, because yeah, I think I can be a stubborn ass sometimes, and yeah, just sort of taking a step back and be like, I don't know it all. I need to just, let other people guide me sometimes has been quite an eye-opener. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do differently next time.
Oh, and that's okay too.
Mhm.
And that is fine. What do you hope readers walk away after reading Order in Blood? Like, what's a message that you hope they get when they read that book?
I guess just that you don't have to be like, I don't know, it's really hard to like put it into words because there's just so much that obviously goes on. I think as
She's
somebody
like, my
sort of
message my message is keep your eyes open because they are here. Okay.
I
It's
mean, just as
happening.
someone that sort of struggles with like anxiety and imposter syndrome, just that you can do it. You know, you're not alone, and people believe in you and support you. And um, I think that's what Ali sort of discovers in the book, that there's more out there than
Yeah.
she, has sort of been subjected to so far in her life. That there are people that love her and will, do things and support her. So just sort of the power of friendship, as they would say.
Power of friendship
Power of
prevails.
friendship. It rules all.
It's so true, though.
I think just finding your people. I think people can walk away, and
Yes.
once you've found like the people that respect you and support you, you can do
Yeah.
anything. I mean, I think that's sort of where Annie's
Yes.
at the end of the books. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
No, I love that. No, that's so
I don't know,
true.
bit
Yeah,
cringe,
it
but
is.
yeah.
No, it's so true.
I love
Yeah.
cringe. I don't know about the
Yeah,
next
just
person, but like I'm cringe written. Okay, that's all there. So I love it.
love a bit of cringe, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the best piece of feedback you've received so far, whether from a reviewer or a friend or just a fan? Like, what's the best piece of feedback you've gotten?
I mean, you always just love the insane direct messages as they get into the end, like, "What have you done? Why have you done this?"
Yeah.
Like,
She's
the
like, I
rage.
did my job.
Yeah,
Perfect.
They're
I'm
like
like,
angry. They're like, why are you doing this to me?
cackling evilly. Um, but no, there was a really lovely reader, Holly. She messaged me directly, and she also came to my book signing, which was really lovely. And she said that it sort of took her back to when she was like a child reading books, sort of getting wrapped up in
Mhm.
like the magic of a new world and stuff. And that was just really, really lovely, because obviously we all have those like fond memories of reading when we're younger and not having no
Yeah.
responsibilities and getting completely immersed in something that you love. And that sort of like touched her. Yeah, touched her. It was really
Aww.
sweet. But no, everyone's been like really overwhelmingly supportive and kind, and I think I wasn't quite expecting the level of sort of enjoyment that people have got for it. I sort of
Yeah,
wrote,
I was
wrote
just
it.
gonna ask, like, were you
Yeah,
surprised at like the reaction that people have given
yeah.
you
I
with
think
your book?
because it's so bloody long, I wasn't expecting people to like even like bother reading it. Um, but no, like people seem really invested in like the characters in book two, and it's just been really, really lovely, because I definitely didn't expect that level of support and for people to like it as much as they have. So it's been really exciting.
Yay. Oh my God, well, we are here to
I love
support you
it.
100%. We loved
Yes.
this book and we can't
Thank
wait.
you.
Can't wait for book 2 and possibly a novella. I will fingers
Yeah,
crossed
yeah,
on that.
She said, I'm going to keep asking until I get it.
Okay, so if you could give advice to other writers working on their first fantasy novel, what would you tell them?
Outline. Outline the bloody book.
She said, from an
um,
experience standpoint.
just outline the bloody book, and don't think you
She's
can
like,
just wing it.
especially if you're doing fantasy,
Especially
outline your
fantasy,
book.
Yeah.
because I mean, I've got like a notebook that I started like maybe a year ago, and I looked through it the other day and I was like, oh shit, I did something completely different with that. Like, or I was like, oh, that was a really good idea. Why didn't I? Oh, because I didn't look at the notebook yet. And like, ugh. I think I would love one day to have like an actual office and to be able to do like the post-it note thing, like the crazy conspiracy theory threads on the,
Yes, I would
all kind
love
of.
that.
Sorry, excuse me.
It's okay.
Okay.
So that is, but I will also say, like, just do what you want with it, because there's so much sort of conversation at the minute about, like who came up with this and who came up with that, and
Hmm.
in certain like sort of fantasy audiences and fantasy, you do what you want with it.
Yeah.
It's magic. Like, make you can decide whatever I think like sometimes people forget that these myths and folklore tales exist, but as an author, you can be creative and sort of adapt them as needed.
Yeah.
I think you see sometimes people are like, well, fae don't work that way, or a werewolf can only do this on. It's like, it's not
I'm
real.
sorry, are you a
It's
werewolf?
not real.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm
have
sorry, are
fun
you
with
a werewolf?
it. Like, yeah, it's not real, guys. Like, I know it's the sort of lore and stuff, but yeah, it's not real. Like, have a bit of fun
You
with
do
it.
what you want.
You literally could do anything when it comes to fantasy. That's
Yeah.
why I love fantasy, because you could just do anything with it. Like, it's endless.
I was literally writing like the lichens, and I was like, oh, can they shift? Like, it's not a full moon. I was like, of course they can shift if I want them to. Like,
Yeah.
they're mine.
You're like, who cares?
Do I want?
You're like, I'm sorry to
I'm
offend
in
all the mythical
power.
creatures that are truly out there reading my
Yeah.
books. Thank you for reading my books.
Yeah, I just think, just have fun with it, and do what you want. To some extent.
Yeah, that's the
So,
point of
yeah.
fantasy, I feel like, is like the reason why some people pick up fantasy. I know for me personally, if I pick up a fantasy book, I'm not trying to be logistic about whether the werewolf shifts at a certain time. I'm not going to be like, this is incorrect and I'm not going to read this anymore. Like, I'm going to read it and be like, oh, there's a werewolf? Let me look. I'm excited about the simple fact. So like, yeah, I understand that.
I mean, obviously,
Seriously.
with certain aspects, you need to have like respect for, where it came from and the original, sort of myths, and that, especially if it's sort of spiritual in that extent. But sort of creatures themselves, you can definitely have fun with, and I think we've sort of got a little bit wrapped up in that, in some places. So yeah, I will just say that you can play around with things a little bit. But yeah, I have always tried to be quite mindful of. So obviously, I've got like deities from like different cultures and things like that. So you don't want to I never want to offend anyone sort of using them in my book. So I'd always try and be still respectful about it, but you can still sort of feature them in your way, I guess, to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure when we read Twilight, like vampires glitter. Like what?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that
I mean,
really?
Like,
Like,
what you
skin
want
of a
about
killer.
Twilight? Stephanie Meyer's. It was original, I think.
Like,
from what
I've never heard about vampires who like glitter in the sun.
I wrote my dissertation on vampires. Yeah, exactly. Where the hell have you been, Luca?
Yeah. That's my favorite line of all time.
Films are so funny, aren't they?
They're so good.
Okay, wait, were you team Jacob or team Edward?
I was Jacob all the way. It was the long hair.
It was. It is the hair.
It was the hair, and then I didn't mind him with the hair all cut off, but yeah, it definitely swayed me. In
the hair did it for you.
I'm team Charlie.
I know. Now we talk about it.
As I've got. Yeah, it's like Lord of the Rings, isn't it? When you're younger, it's Legolas, and then when you're older, it's like, wait, hold on, Aragorn, like,
yes, it's exactly it. Legolas, like, for my entire teenage years, I was like, oh my god, this is like perfect for. And now that I'm older, I'm like Thor and Oakenshield.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, you just like perked Tiff right up.
I really did.
It's a die-hard Lord of the Rings. I have yet read or watched the movies.
Oh, really? Not watched them?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
nothing.
Impressive.
And Tiff, every time we podcast, she's just like,
I find a way.
These are my men. She'll show me clips and videos, and we're in a group chat with our mom, and she will every day send like a Lord of the Rings meme or GIF to us.
And it's funny to me because I know the context, but they don't because they've never seen it, and it just makes it so much more funnier because I'm like, you guys.
Oh my god. You just like perked her up, so she's so
really
happy right now. She's like,
I have a huge grin. You can't see it, but I have a huge grin. Like, I wish my camera was on because when you said that, I like jumped up. I was like,
Tiff, okay, so for this one, Tiff, because your camera's not working, when I edit, I will put you with all of your Lord of the Rings as that's like a snippet I'll put in.
We can do Legolas since he made
all the men behind her. It should be in the center.
And that's all I need. That's all I need in life. I'm just saying.
Oh my
god. Although I was a big Faramir girly growing up, actually.
Who?
Faramir, he was my...
Oh, yeah. You know what? Now that I'm older, I'm actually like, I'm not mad about it. I'm like, okay.
And then he was in Van Helsing, and I was like, oh god, actually. I don't know how I feel about him anymore. Played like a little monk in Van Helsing, and I was like,
I know.
But Lord of the Rings, Chef's Kiss, he's great.
Yeah. Anything else, you're like, okay.
No, in August, that's Tiff's birthday month. We are dedicating all of our book to movie adaptations to Lord of the Rings just for her birthday. So I'm going to read and watch the movies for this will be my first time.
It's going to be exciting. I'm forcing
it's one of
it.
those things that, yeah, for like me and Tiff, I imagine if you wiped our memories, that would be the first thing we'd do is like sit and have like a
Oh,
Lord of the Rings marathon,
100%.
like extended versions,
100%. My first thing would be to put on The Hobbit and then read the book while I'm like, it would just be a whole thing. I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
We're excited. I'm excited. Don't know. We'll see. We will see. Okay, so before we wrap up, we have some rapid questions we want to ask you. Nothing serious. So if your book was being turned into a movie or show, who would you want casted as Annie?
Florence Pugh, 100%.
I love Florence Pugh. I can totally see it.
Yes,
I can totally see it.
Yeah,
she's got the best facial expressions.
Yeah,
oh, she's got the best everything. She's amazing.
Perfection. Yeah, I see Annie as sort of that British beauty, classic beauty, and Florence sort of captures that. But yeah, also I think, I don't know if you've seen Midsummer. I know you're not a horror fan.
Yes,
Kim,
I've seen it though, but yes.
Yeah, just the way she portrayed like sort of the panic attacks and the anxiety, like she was just so brilliant in that. And yeah, I think she would capture Annie really, really well. So she's like my dream.
Oh my god! Do you have anybody else you would cast? Because you came up with that really quick, so I feel like you have an idea of everybody.
No, I mean she is probably the only person that I can sort of envision. Yeah, the rest of the characters I don't really have a clear sort of person for.
She's like, as long as it's her at the top, and then just work your way out.
Yeah,
everyone else is fine as long as it's Florence and Annie. That's all I care about. But I mean, people interpret characters very differently, don't they? In different books, because there's obviously all the announcements going on for like castings for things. People get quite sort of irate about it, don't they? Because
it's a thing.
It's a thing for sure.
Yeah, so I don't like planting sort of ideas in like people's heads if they haven't read.
You're
it,
like, you pick, you choose.
Florence,
you think,
envisage Florence. That's fine. Everyone else you can make up. Florence,
make up
really
as you go, but it has to be Florence Pugh.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only one.
So, what is your current or last read?
I'm such a mood reader, so I have like 4 books on the go at the minute.
Same as us.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
Yeah. So I've got Carissa Broadbent's Children of Fallen Gods on the go at the moment, but I'm also reading an indie book by another local author actually, which is called The Gift of a Rose, which is like a romantasy. It's got all of the good stuff, like a nice fluffy romance and wyverns and like prophecy to deal with. So yeah, those are sort of my 2 main ones that I'm like flitting between at the minute. So yeah, one's like sort of epic battles and stuff, and the other one's kind of more of the romance side. So yeah,
like it's how I feel today.
Yeah,
I love Carissa Broadbent. I just want to say,
so good, brilliant,
so good. My first book I read from her was Daughter of No Worlds, and I immediately fell in love, and I read the rest, and I was like, I can't move on. Like it's just so good. Okay, if you haven't read any of her books, I have not. I suggest you should read.
And let's add it to my TBR along with
another one.
My other book.
It's so good. Like anything she writes, I will always enjoy.
Yeah,
so
I think
good.
Serpent and the Wings of Night was what put her sort of on people's radar. I think so. That was the vampire one.
Yeah, that's like her very popular book.
But I think
everything else she's written is just
series is definitely like it's kind of like Sarah J. Maas, like Throne of Glass versus Akatar, I think.
Yeah.
Serpent and the Wings of Night is sort of Carissa's Akatar, and Tisana and Daughter of No Worlds is probably more of her Throne of Glass series, sort of more of the epic world building and stuff. So, but yeah, she's really good.
I agree. Kindle Unlimited, all these books, all 3.
I read Daughter of No Worlds in one sitting, and I was like, my flabbers were gassed. I was like, this is amazing. Immediately picked up the second book, and then it's funny that you say that. It's kind of like her Throne of Glass series because I I'm trying really hard to actually read Throne of Glass, and I just can't for some reason get into it. But I heard like once you get past the third book,
Yes.
then like Heir of Fire is kind of when it starts to get good. And I have it on my desk ready to start it, but I'm like
She's like,
I already have feelings about it. I don't know if I want to keep reading it, but everyone tells me I have to.
Yeah, I struggled with like the first book and then sort of fell into it properly.
Yeah.
It's one of those
Maybe
that,
Heir of Fire will be my
yeah, it's
like my
still like
start.
obviously is intriguing, but I think it really comes into its own when all of the characters are introduced.
The slow start. Tiff.
It is.
I mean, that's another 8 books? Another massive series, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's a massive series. And I'm like, why did I indulge myself into this? Like I would have stopped at Crown of Midnight, but I had messed up and bought Heir of Fire when I bought Crown of Midnight. So now I have Heir of Fire. So I'm like, well, I have to read it now. I can't just have the
She's like,
book
I
and
bought
not read it. Yeah. It's like I've invested. So now
Well, I know people that whatever your sort of opinions are on Sarah J. Maas, I know there's
yeah.
quite a bit of controversy around her, but Throne of
Yeah.
Glass is it's just a very good story.
Oh. Tiff, that's you. That's all you.
Now Kim knows nothing about the whole Sarah J. Maas
I know.
controversy, and I'm not gonna explain it. But
No.
I've heard already enough of
That's
it.
another
I
podcast in
can't.
itself, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a
Oh
whole
my
nother
God.
episode that we need to get into because I can't. I'm not doing it.
Oh. Okay, so what is your all-time favorite movie and your all-time favorite TV show?
All-time favorite movie is probably The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh my God, love it.
Yeah, I can quote it like word for word. It infuriates my husband because I can just sit there and like say the whole script. Series probably would be Supernatural.
See, again, we have never seen Supernatural.
Have you not?
No,
good.
but you're probably our fifth,
Like
sixth.
fifth, yeah, like fifth author or just person in general telling us that we need
Very
to
good.
watch it.
Even if you just watch it for Dean Winchester, it's worth
See,
it, you know.
Yeah.
He is.
Everybody says.
Yeah, just perfection.
She's like, it's
yeah.
for the plot. I mean,
the plot is good. It's great. I mean, it's up and down, you know. It's like 15 seasons.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Somebody, someone we just talked to, they said the first 5 seasons are brilliant, but then after that, it just kind of like gets weird.
Yeah, it gets a bit too big. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I love like the early seasons where it's like a new monster every episode, like investigating or learning about, you know, a new supernatural sort of entity and stuff. And yeah, it just gets a little bit wild. You know, it's one of those things where like once they meet God, that's it, isn't it? You know, that's as big as you can go. Like in terms
Yeah.
of, like you can't really go any bigger than that. And then it's like, well, there was something before God. And it's like, we're just getting silly.
They're
now.
like, well, watch us.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah, it just
like,
got,
I'm here for the actors. So
Yeah.
here we are.
So in the end, you are just watching it for the very handsome men. On the
Yeah.
screen, so, and also,
and that's enough reason for us to watch it.
If nothing else, yeah, that's one of the biggest recommendations. Yeah, they are pretty beautiful. But yeah, I would say it's probably I need to watch it again. It's one of those that I probably.
She's like, I'm actually gonna rewatch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
get
go on now. It was on Amazon Prime, so maybe I'll go and see if it's still on there.
I know, Tiff, we have to watch it.
I know we have to document us watching it because so many the amount of people telling us to watch it, we can't not document
like
it.
a live
reaction.
Yeah, live reaction of our episodes.
Yeah,
it is a bit.
Right.
It is horror though, so if you don't watch that much of it, I mean, it's obviously not like
I have no issue with it.
horror, but it can be a little bit creepy at times.
I'll watch it.
She's like, I'll just close my eyes.
I'm like, I think the guys will keep me safe.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and Sam have got you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We have to watch it, Tiff.
I know, we're gonna watch it.
Okay.
Even if it's just the first 5 seasons, you know.
Yeah.
They'll
just watch the first 5.
They're like, they're like, if you get to the first 5, then you're good. You don't really have to continue, but then you can if you choose to.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, definitely. And like I say, it just got a little bit too wild and brought in entities that are just way too big. Can't go any harder than that.
My God, 15 seasons, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of seasons.
Definitely, it's huge.
All right. Vampires or witches?
Oh, witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like witches too.
Yeah, I think you can have more fun with like witches as a sort of not a creature, but as sort of a
Yeah.
Yeah.
character. Vampires are fairly, I don't know, maybe you can break the stereotype, but yeah, I think witches definitely.
Do you have a favorite like witch show or movie?
We all have practical magic, don't we? It's sort of
Oh
we
my
do.
god.
coming of age, witchcraft, The
Love
Craft
practical magic.
as well. Obviously,
Yes.
like original
Yes.
90s
She was like
craft.
the OG movies.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
those are the ones that the sort of the claim to fame ones in terms of witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those. Oh, I love practical magic. I'm so excited
So
for
do
I'm
I.
so
I'm-
excited
I
for the
know,
second one.
I can't believe they're doing like
I
a
was like,
sequel.
whoa. I was like,
I'm
this is
so happy.
exciting.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of those where the cinema's going to be like absolutely just rammed full of women.
Yes.
Of course.
100%.
Like,
100%.
daughters and mothers like sort of going to watch it together because I grew up
Yes.
watching it with my mum.
Yeah.
We used to watch it like fairly regularly. And there was a time in my life where I was like, I hate romance. I don't like romance, but you still sort of got suckered into,
Oh my
It's just-
god,
it's
the
so
running when
good.
she's running and that
Oh,
song is
stop.
playing.
That scene is so
Please.
good.
Yeah, it's
I'm
very
gonna watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it right after this. The scene
Also,
where
Nicole
she's like in
Kidman
the
in that
kitchen.
film.
Oh my god. Can you
Beautiful woman.
She's gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, it's one of those like moments of awakening, I think, when you
Mhm.
That's
you know,
exactly what I was gonna
like
say.
some people say the
That was
mummy
mine.
and stuff.
Jade is like,
I
I'll
think-
say it for you. I'll say it
yeah,
for you.
Nicole Kidman in
Thank you.
Practical Magic. That
Yeah, I don't
she's
care about
just-
anyone else in that
No.
movie. except
No,
her at that
no.
point. Sandra
She
Bullock
is-
too, though. Like you can't.
Yeah,
Always
yeah.
times. But,
Yeah.
but Nicole Kidman
Nicole
for
Kidman
sure.
really was something else in that movie.
Yeah. No, she's
Oh my God.
yeah,
I'm definitely
incredible.
gonna watch it now. After
All right, Tiff.
that.
When I edit, I'll put all your Lord of the Rings and I'll throw Nicole Kidman from
Nicole
Practical
Kidman from
Magic.
Practical Magic, yeah.
in there too for
It's at
you.
the
I'll
back.
have to do that.
Okay, banter or brooding?
Banter. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
a good
we love a good
snarky-
I love a
banter.
good banter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
The
sort of
brooding can
push
only
and
go so
pull.
much.
seriously.
exactly.
And so you're just like, can you stop, please?
You're like, just
Yeah,
enough.
it just becomes like sort of
Get over
borderline
it.
bullying, doesn't it? And then
Yeah.
I'm into that. So yeah,
But I love a good banter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It feels a bit more fun, doesn't it? Even though they're supposed to hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love reading a banter because in my mind I have like the voices in my head of
Yeah,
the
and I start
characters.
giggling. And...
Me too. And I start like talking in my head as I'm reading it. It's like as if I'm these characters. And I'm like, I'm completely losing my mind. It's like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
I love a good banter when the guy would say something and I have to put my book down to react to what he said. I'm like, oh my God. Like, no way you just said that. I love it.
Yeah. Banter,
Oh God, that's
definitely.
good. All right. Creature sidekick or human ally?
Creature sidekick. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
I love a
fun.
good creature sidekick.
I mean, we all can have a human ally, but we not.
There's only
There's a
so much
great-
they could do.
yeah, exactly. They're useless, aren't they? They're just
Yeah.
they're collateral damage.
Give me a human that like that turns into a creature.
A shape, a shapeshifter.
exactly.
Give me one of those.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. There's a book that I read recently, an indie book called What is Dark Within Me, and there was a hellhound in it, and it just brilliant creature sidekick, hilarious. Yeah, that's what you need.
Oh, I love it.
Comical but cute, but also kind of terrifying. It was very, very good.
I love that.
That's worth a read as well. Add that to your. Oh, sorry.
What was it called? No,
Yeah,
for real.
let me add it to my list.
What was it called?
What is Dark Within Me? It's by L.B. Black, the
Yes.
author's name.
As soon as I type in "what is dark," it's like the first thing that pops up.
I found it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another 3-book series. So like she summons the devil, but doesn't realize that he's been obsessed with her all her life, sort of thing.
Disappearance of
Oh,
her
I
best
love it.
friend.
Stop. You
I
had
love a
me
mystery.
obsessed with her.
It's so good. But yeah, the creature sidekick is he's very, very good.
Adding, I think like we've added a total of like 5 books
Today alone.
just today. Okay, so enemies to lovers or friends to lovers?
Enemies to lovers, definitely.
Yes,
Yeah, 100%.
same.
The tension.
Always. I'll
and
die on that
again,
hill.
there's always banter, isn't there, as well, with enemies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love an enemies to lover.
It has to be like proper enemies to lovers, like not just like
Yes.
they don't
It has
like
to be
each other,
done
but like
right.
they want to kill each other, and then
Yes, like
That's what I
hardcore.
say. They have
Yeah.
to try to kill each other at some point.
yeah, there has to be like murder or want to murder each other
Yeah.
involved, and then it turns into
I need them chasing each
Yes.
other
yeah,
to try
exactly.
and get the other to be unalived.
Yeah, when they like
That's what
sort
it
of
is.
enemies to lovers, and then they're suddenly lovers by like chapter 30. It's like, they weren't really
Yeah,
enemies, were
It's like, how did you get here? Stop
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
Were
they
you
just,
really
like, hate each other.
enemies? Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love it
enemies
too.
to
Me too.
lovers.
Yeah. All right. Hero's journey or anti-hero arc?
Anti-hero art, because it's just more interesting. I don't know. I
Yeah.
liked.
It is.
She's like,
Yeah,
I
I think-
don't like the cookie cut, perfect. Like these are
you like
how
a
I have to
morally
do it.
grey. Yeah, exactly.
I
We
love a
want,
good anti-hero.
Yeah.
It's like definitely anti-hero. But I still want them to be kind of a villain as well at times.
Oh yeah, I love a
Yeah.
good villain. Give me a
Completely
villain
switch
that's like I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
definitely. We know what we want, don't we?
Yes, we do. And you give it to us in your books.
Yes.
You give it to us.
There's some villains in there.
I love it. All right. So that wraps up our episode of Page to Picture. Huge thank you to you, Jade, for joining us. We hope you had fun. I know I had fun. I
know.
loved it.
Yeah.
This was great. Thank you so much.
It's been lovely. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Jade, where can our listeners find you on social media? What is your tag?
It's Jade Lamb Rites, with an S on the end.
Perfect.
But yeah, I'm on Instagram and TikTok, so yeah.
Yes. Follow her, you guys. You don't want
Yes.
to miss out. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll tag her socials in the description so you guys can find her easily.
Yes.
But if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review wherever you listen to the podcast. Also, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at official Page to Picture to keep up with everything book related, movie adaptations, Nicole Kidman, and more.
And on our Instagram, you will find our link tree, which includes all of our podcasts, guest signups, and our new merch, which Tiff, we may have to start doing supernatural merch because it seems to be a thing that people love. So
Yeah,
we might
we're gonna
have to do
start
that
doing
too.
that. I agree.
I would buy
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys can get Jade's debut novel, Annie Dean, Order and Blood on Amazon and on Kindle Unlimited. If you don't have it, get it, please. It's so good.
Yes.
It's
Prepare
worth
for book
it.
2.
Yes, honestly. Please go ahead and get it. I love it. So
Me too. I loved it so much. Jade, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. We hope you had a good time. We enjoyed talking to you. So thank you so much for taking the time and being here with us today.
yes.
Thank you.
All right. Until next time. Thanks, guys.